This is the Iowa Weather Report for Wednesday, October 22nd, 2014. And now, the first look at the 0Z GFS model run. At 1 p.m. this afternoon, we have a system that's moving quickly up the coast. It's going to bring a lot of precipitation in the form of some rain across the New England states. But around here, we're going to be having a storm system of our own approaching from the west. It'll be over the Dakotas into Nebraska with a few showers and an isolated thunderstorm there. You can see the system over the northeast. So we'll see clouds on the increase today with highs in the 60s and lower 70s across the state. The rain will be moving in very late tonight in the western counties, moving into the central and eastern counties late tonight through the first half of Thursday. We could see some clearing late in the day, and the highs there could make it to the lower and middle 60s, whereas the rest of the state could see some upper 50s. And then as we move into Friday and into the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it looks pretty much perfect. Sunshine, maybe a cloud or two, highs in the 60s and 70s, maybe a little bit of wind here and there, but any storm system will be across Canada, moving into the Canadian Maritimes and into the Northwest. In fact, the one over the Northwest here as we move into Saturday and Sunday, this is the next storm system we're going to have to watch as we move into next week. You can see here by Sunday the winds begin to come around to the south. GFS wants to paint maybe a rain shower around, but we're going to discount that for the time being. But we can't discount this here on Monday. Start the new work week and start the next system moving in. A couple low pressure centers bringing in some showers and maybe a rumble of thunder. But you can see the Gulf still is fairly closed, so very little moisture with it. And most of the precipitation looks to stay to our north as we move into Tuesday. Another system moving into Northern California, and a tropical entity over the Caribbean will be slowly moving into the central and eastern Gulf. Don't think this is related to the current Tropical Depression 9 that's in the Bay of Campeche, but we'll have to wait and see about that. By next Wednesday, you can see that here on the central and eastern Gulf. That could be slowly moving north. You have another system moving in from the west. The Gulf begins to try to open up, but with this system in the Gulf possibly, this could cut off quite a bit of this moisture supply to this system. But then we go into the extended period, and we go into the month of November, and we have a pattern change. Here is the wind straight out of the northwest. This is going to bring very cold air into the state. You can see that here. We have pretty much really windy conditions across a large portion of the country from the Rockies east. Big snows possible in the Great Lakes if this is to be correct, and moderating temperatures by that point. The end of the forecast, November 6th, and we begin to go back into a zonal pattern at this point. Unfortunately, it will be a lot cooler than it is now. We have an upper level feature over especially northern Labrador. You can see the 540 line cutting across northeastern Iowa. That's pretty much signifying that it's not going to be in the 60s and 70s anymore, more like 40s to around 50. Satellite image from last evening, we had one storm. You can see the storm off the Carolina and Virginia coast. That'll be sweeping north and eastward, bringing some heavy rain into New England. Next system off to our west, another one crashing into the north and west. The watch warning map for last evening looks very boring. Some flash flood watches in New Hampshire and into down east Maine, northwestern Washington, wind advisory in south central Oregon. Elsewhere across the country, quiet. The QPF chart, precipitation over the next 5 days through Sunday evening at 7 o'clock, showing rainfall amounts could be quite significant along the Pacific Northwest coast over down east Maine. Around here, maybe about a quarter to a half an inch. The heaviest will be west of Interstate 35.